And welcome back into Dot Talk this week, segment 2 of Dot Talk, and a very special segment indeed as we begin a new segment. Last week I introduced my coverage of the Cobra Kai in the South America Pro League. This week we're adding the Ministry of Dotball in the World League. They're located in the Zeta Conference, owned by Stobie, head coached by Crazy 454, and a great World League team. 8-0 record right now. The computer ranks them second, but they're undefeated, and they've beat some good dotball teams, and they're a serious contender for the title this year. In Game 6, they took on the Providence Radicals. That was an away game for the Ministry. They won that game 55-27. They got 544 total net yards, 211 on the ground, 5.9 yard average, and passing was pretty even. They had 333 through the air to 332 for Providence. They won the time of possession with 32 minutes, 28 seconds. And once again, 55-27, the final in that game. Top players for the Ministry of Dotball: Sticky Palms, wide receiver with 2 receptions for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Quarterback Tom Tack, 14 completions out of 23 attempts, 176.5 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Tight end, D-League tight end, 3 receptions for 63.5 yards, 2 touchdowns. Those players for the Ministry. The next week had Game 7, which was a home game. The Ministry took on the Honolulu Hurricane Warriors. They won 91-8, 713.5 total net yards, 391.5 on the ground for an 11.2 average, 322 through the air. Honolulu actually had more passing yards, but of course they were behind all game. But Ministry still beat them in the yards per pass with 11.1. Players of the game for Ministry in that one: R. Jones, free safety with 11 tackles, 9 sacks, 1 interception for a touchdown. D-League halfback had 8 rushes for 176 yards and 3 touchdowns. Man-O-Man, fullback for the Ministry, had 11 rushes for 99.5 yards, 3 touchdowns. QB Tom Tack had 28 attempts, 19 completions, 322.5 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. D-League tight end had 6 receptions, 81.5 yards, and 1 touchdown. Game 8, the Ministry of Dotball took on the Micronesia Megalodons. They won 55-0, put the goose egg on the Megalodons, 538.5 total net yards in that game, 283.5 on the ground for a 5.9 yard average. Passing was, they had a little more passing yards, 255 for the Ministry compared to 201 for Micronesia, who was playing from behind the whole time. And the Ministry won the time of possession big time. They held the ball 40 minutes and 19 seconds. Coming up this week for the Ministry of Dotball, they're going to be taking on the Buffalo Rampage, Lincoln Navigators, the Dakar Dragons, and the Sparta Battle Chickens. We'll take a break right now. When we come back, we'll take a look in at the league standings for the Ministry of Darkness. Are you tired of spending hour upon hour setting up your AI only to get beat by 255 points? Well, don't worry about that anymore. Come over to the Casual Leagues. GoLineBlitz.com has casual leagues set up from the 13 caps all the way up to uncapped casual leagues. Don't scream at your monitor all day anymore. Pit your dot against other dots in a fair match in the casual leagues at GoLineBlitz.com. Welcome back into Dot Talk. And right now taking a look in at the league standings for the Ministry of Dotball in World League. And in the league, they've got top 10 rankings in several categories, and we'll go over those top 10 rankings right now. The Ministry of Dotball lead the league in passing yards. They're 8th in the league in passing yards. They've got 1,924.5 after 8 games. They're second in the league in passing percentage with 66.4% of their passes completed. Fifth in the league in passing touchdowns with 17. Second in the league in least interceptions thrown with 2. In rushing, they're number 1 with 2,740 rushing yards. Number 2 average, 8.3 yards. They've got the second most rushing touchdowns with 41 and the second fewest fumbles with 2. On the defense, they've got the 7th most sacks with 36, number 10 pass deflections with 127, number 9 defensive pass touchdowns allowed with 7. Special teams, they've got the number 5 kick return average with 36.1. On the O-line, they've got the 7th most pancakes with 700. They're number 4 in sacks allowed with 10. Number 7 in points allowed per game with 14.8 points allowed. And they're 10th in the league in points scored per game with an average of 61.4. That's the Ministry of Dotball at this halfway point in the regular season, and we'll continue to look at them on next week's Dot Talk. Right now, we've got another feature. It's brand new for Dot Talk this week, and it's a Dot Talk replay of the week. These replays were submitted by Goal Line Blitzers, and I chose the ones that I thought were the best ones that were put up for consideration. And if you'd like to put your replay up for consideration and the Dot Talk replay of the week, there is a sticky tab in the game recaps forum. So head there, put your replay on there, and who knows, you could find your replay on Dot Talk. But let's get into it this week. Our first replay, the Philadelphia Owls taking on the Rose Hill Daywalking Ginger Kids, and a rushing touchdown by George Myers in the third quarter with 5:27 to go on 2nd and 10. George Myers rushed over to the right side for a 58-yard gain and a touchdown. Second replay of the week, the Melbourne Mob was taking on the High Plains Drifters, and Lana Lang rushed up the middle. A missed tackle by the Spartan King Leonidas, also D.B. Cooper and Free Fish missed tackles. That's a touchdown up the middle, 61-yard gain. Replay 3, the Fight Club Mayhem taking on the New York Kings, and we've got crisp, clean cuts rushing up the middle for a 24.5-yard gain, making people miss and getting the touchdown. Our next replay of the week comes from the Cobra Kai and a scrimmage they had with the World League team, Chocolate Blaze, and in this one in the fourth quarter, first play of the fourth quarter on 4th and 1.5 on their own 28.5. T. Baggins rushes up the middle, a missed tackle by Ricky Fontana, and a 71.5-yard touchdown scramble by T. Baggins. And now our Dot Talk replay of the week comes from the Ministry of Dotball, and they were playing the Stuart Ballers. QB Tom Tack pitches to D-League halfback, a missed tackle by Javaris Bradshaw, and blanket lockdown. That's a touchdown up the middle, 64-yard gain, and about 12 broken ankles on the defense in that replay. That is the Dot Talk replay of the week. Remember to get your submissions in on Goal Line Blitz to get your replay on Dot Talk. And that's going to do it for us this week, folks. Hope you've had a great week. Hope you have another one this week. We're getting into the halfway point of the regular season on Goal Line Blitz. Until next week, this is Tuba Samurai, and this is Dot Talk.